And it's designed for realtors on this business model. Now, Nathan and Chris, they're not even about trying to take anybody's business. They're not going to take your leads or anything. You could just kind of direct people there and explains what we do as investors. We, meaning my system, and pretty much all the guys that I work with, it's the same thing, okay? And so, as I got started, the biggest problem I found is defending myself, defending the legality of what I do and the ethics of what I do. And now if you stop and think about it, that's kind of ridiculous. Here you have someone who, for whatever reason, they're not paying their bill. They're not paying their mortgage. I know because I was there. But, maybe they went through a divorce like I did. Maybe there was an illness. Someone gets really sick, they're going to have trouble paying the bills. I know about that. When I was 18, I almost died of terminal cancer. I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It spread throughout my whole body. I was dead, And through the grace of God and a miracle, I'm here today, But, yeah. I mean, it was a miraculous healing, and I wish, if we were in a different environment, I could tell you about that. But the point is, people go through hard times, People go through real hard times. And so they're not, and they're scared. These people are scared. They're losing their house. And, they have children. I mean, what am I going to do? They're embarrassed. They're scared. And so if you can come in and help them, we don't offer them money. Yeah, once in a while we could do a bill outside of closing and buy some of their furniture and, things like that, put a little money in their pocket, especially if we try and get them to stay out of the HAFA program. We have to kind of match that. But, for the most part, you're offering them hope because people want to rebuild their lives, okay? You go through a foreclosure and it's pretty much your credit's pretty shot for about 7 to 10 years. Short sales about 2 to 3. I know plenty of mortgage bankers who are getting people loans 2-3 years out of a short sale. As long as they keep everything else clean, maybe they'll do their bankruptcy. But guess what? They can rebuild in about a third of the time than if they let that foreclosure. So the first thing people want to do, a lot of them, they bury their head in the sand. They just want to forget it, think the problem's going to go away. Okay? We just say, listen, let's stop and think about this. If you may have to go live with some family or maybe get a rental, which, by the way, our realtor can help you get this temporary housing. We're also going to put you in a credit restoration program. Everybody that we work with, we take a portion of our profit and help restore their credit, We try and give back, so it's rehabilitating them so that they can be a homeowner again, in whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 years. Well, it sure isn't going to be 10 because they fought. First of all, they're going to get to live in the house. They're not making the payments anyway. Might as well stay there for free. Let us do our job. So these are the things that I had to train the agents on. Nathan's big thing and what my thing, if you want to call it that. All these houses, okay. I never see the house. I've never seen more than 2 or 3. I don't talk to the sellers, and I don't talk to the banks. And I live in a foreign country 3 months a year. So how do you do that? It's having built a team that is fantastic. Now, who do you think coached those people in the beginning? I had to get them up and running. I mean, hours and hours and hours, But when you have the agents trained, they're going to want to bring you the business. Now, they're going to be the one going out to the homeowner, making them feel better, giving them hope. The biggest thing I think that you can give people in the economy that we're in today, for someone who's losing their home, is give them some hope. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's what people want to hear. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to help you. Well, how much are you charging me? That's the best part, man. We don't ever charge them a dime. We're not taking their money. We're going to try and take a bad situation and make the best out of it. We lose some. Yes, we do close 90% of the deal because here's the thing. We go in with the mindset that we're going to buy everyone and we're going to flip it. That allows us to put a contract together so we have an immediate contract to send to the bank to do what? To start the negotiating. You know how it works. You just can't send an offer to the bank. They want your proof of funds. They want to fully execute a contract to get the ball rolling. So even if we don't have an end buyer, and obviously getting started we don't, we're going to find out that bottom line number where the bank wants to be so that we know how to adjust the list price so that we can then attract a buyer. So, and we have different methods. Actually, one I learned from these guys down here called the ICE method. You guys ever hear that? You're all from Tampa. Well, some of you are. You ever heard the ICE method? Let me share this with you. This is cool. When I got started, it's the A to B, B to C closing. They're not all meshed together. I know the big thing now, a lot of people are using land trusts now again. When I first started going on these webinars years ago, land trust was the big thing back when I got my license, 2007, 2008. And then they got ugly for a while. People didn't want to do them. They were afraid of them, this, that, and the other. And so that's when the option contract came around, okay? Then banks started getting, they didn't like that word too much, so then we just changed, Jeff Watson just changed the title. It's the contract for sale and purchase. Then the next evolution was use whatever your state contract is and just have an addendum. Then Wells Fargo had these OCR readers where they were picking up certain words and flagging the deal. Then he has another version of that. So it's like things change. But if you keep, if you're associating yourself with people that are still doing this business, and that's the thing that, if I can say, really pissed me off. People that I would know that they were up there selling me stuff, and they're not even doing this anymore, man. Whether it's on a webinar or you're sending me all these emails, I'm like, dude, you haven't been in the game for 3 years. You know how much changed in the last 3 months? And I'm out there every damn day doing this. I know what's going on. So that's the thing. You gotta find people in your market, or maybe not even in your market, that you're gonna learn from that are doing this every day, because things change so fast. They change so fast. And if you're setting yourself up as the expert, which is what Nathan told me to do, Brian, you need to be the local area expert. Matter of fact, you need to create yourself. You need to become somebody. Become somebody? What are you talking about, man? He's like, well, you want to have a product one day? Yes, I do. You want to coach people one day? Damn right I do. All right. Who are you? I'm Brian Meara. No. You need to create yourself. You need to become somebody. All right. I'm thinking, all right, who am I, man? Italy. Always like Rocky Balboa. He was my hero, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, all right, the Italian stallion, that's corny. Oh, how about the short sale stallion? That's good. I like that, So it was just stupid how I came up with it, And besides, I'm living in Italy, so my business, had to create an LLC, the big $100 that it was, myllc.com. Bormio Properties, The girl I'm with now is actually from a little town called Bormio. Beautiful place, beautiful place. It's up in the mountains in northern Italy, and it's just great, It's really great. But if you have a high-speed internet, any internet connection really, high-speed helps, and a phone, you can do this business anywhere, And that's the hope that I'm trying to give everybody, and why I'm speaking here today, I thought about it. When Kenny, contacted me on Facebook, he's like, hey, I heard about you. You're really ripping up. You're doing great up in the Northeast. Because, for some reason, all these trainers and gurus and coaches, they're all down here, man. I don't know why. They're all in Tampa. You know what I mean? Everybody's in Tampa. Maybe I should move to Tampa. I don't know. But there's nobody really doing this at a big level. And I mean, a lot of people. I go to RIA groups. I network all the time. And people talk about the time you put in. It's just getting your name out there, And I had to learn how to do it with no money, because I had no money. I couldn't, maybe if things were different for me when I got started, I would have loved to have done a mailing, buy a 30, 60, 90 list. I didn't have the money. I don't want to sit there licking envelopes all night long. I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? So I thought, all right, well, how am I going to get business? Well, let's think about it. If you can't make your payments, people do, and I didn't realize this, people call their realtor, the people who sold them the house first. It's one of the first people they call when they get in trouble. Hey, man, I'm in trouble. I guess, assuming they had a good relationship with them. And the second group of people that they call is the mortgage bankers. They try to refi. Now, you know as well as I do, you miss a few payments, normal people can't refi with a 720 credit score. You don't pay your mortgage for 2-3 months, there's no way you're getting a refi. And a loan mod, we all know what a joke that is. But, I guess when people go to the realtor, if they're trained in what to say, the last thing you want them to have to say is, yeah, I got some greedy investor about to scoop up your house and flip it. Take advantage of your misfortune here, I say to people, listen, we're going to negotiate the deal. We're going to work with your bank for you. We're going to get free and clear marketable title, okay? Knock on wood, if I could find some, we have never had a deficiency judgment yet, okay, in over 100 closed deals. Now, the reason for that is because when you're an investor, and let's say you have a house and the bank wants $50,000, okay? Just to use round numbers. And you got somebody lined up to buy it for 70. Again, most of these, you're not going to make a killing, guys. I mean, I've heard the stories. I flipped it, made 150 grand. Really? Nice. I never did, We made 47 on one, which was pretty nice. But these huge spreads, I think maybe that's more in the luxury market, but we work with everybody. We work with people, we're in the hood making, I bought a house last week, sold it was $9 grand. I resold it for 17. I'll take that all day long, And then, the average bread and butter up by me is around 250, your 3-bedroom, 2-bath, suburbia, But anyway, if the bank wants $50,000, here's the point of that story. They say, all right, here's this piece of paper. Now, you got to study that approval letter. If it's a lien release only, we don't accept that. A lot of realtors, what they don't realize is that they will take the lien release because guess what? They can sell the house and collect a commission. We say all the time, that's not good enough because now they're going to be pursued, potentially, for this deficiency, and we don't want that. Listen, if we're going to rehabilitate people, we want a free and clear release. So most times it only takes $5 grand. Say, listen, how much would it take for a free, we want a satisfaction of mortgage on their credit. That's what I run around telling people, normally it's the average we found about $5,000. If you're sitting on a spread, who cares? It's $5,000. I've had to go up to meet the end buyer and collect a little settlement fee. The smallest I made on the deal was $250 because in order to get rid of the deficiency, I had to raise up my offer to the price my end buyer was at. We closed the deal. And you know what? I'll do that all day long because you do that enough times, people, you know, it's funny. It's a big world, but it's a small world. If you do wrong by people, they're going to know it. And at the same time, if you do right by people, you may think, you know, man, I worked on this for 6 months, and I literally made $250, and I had to pay my negotiator, so I lost money. Now, there's very few deals I've lost money on, very few. But if it means doing the right thing, I just believe that's going to come back to you, you know? And then your word's going to spread, and then when they're at that next office meeting, they're going to say, hey, listen, I did a deal with this guy, Brian Meara, and you know he made no money, you know he backed out of the deal just so we can close it, and I got my commission? Like, there's not many people that I'm aware of that still do that in 2011, you know? That you really look out for the homeowner and your realtor partners. I don't call, you know, we call them realtor partners for a reason. And that's a whole nother thing, too, where we basically split our money with them and we increase their percentage. There's a whole model on that. And that's why I'm really excited to get this book out. I'm not charging for it. I just want to get it out there. Just, again, to build my name. I paid to be here today when Kenny asked me because I just said I wanted to come down and contribute to people. I got nothing to give you guys other than some experience. I have nothing to sell you, you know? So I believe in that. It's in my heart. I just want to give back, you know? And I don't care if there's 40, 50 people in a room or 5,000. I really believe that, you know, and I have 3 kids. I have triplets. I have 3 8-year-old boys, actually. My ex-wife and I had to go through in vitro to get pregnant, and so they put 3 in saying, you know, you're really going to be lucky if one of them make it, and 3 of them did. So now we got 3. And so I just think all the time, you know, I think if nothing else, in this world, I got 3 little boys watching their daddy, watching what he does, you know, and that's the most important thing for me, you know. What I'm sowing into them, the example that I'm setting for them, you only have one chance at that, you know. And that's why I'm not going to do something questionable that would tarnish my reputation because it would hurt them, you know. And for what, guys? 10 grand, 20 grand on a deal? You do the wrong thing one time, you're done. I just believe that if you do the right thing, you know, and if you do right by people, it's going to come back around, your name's going to spread, no matter what avenue of investing you're in, you're going to be successful. Because if you are truly that way in your heart, the Lord's going to bless you, and you're going to be all right. And that's the bottom line, you know? So the one quick thing, I got 2 minutes here, and this is a little tip. When we have an active contract, we have an equitable interest granted to us by the seller in distress. I used to artificially increase the list price because, you know, banks make you have it listed. Why? Because we didn't want buyers right away. We know it's a 4, 5, 6 month process. We didn't want buyers because we knew they wouldn't hang around for the process so that by the time we got the approval letter, we wouldn't have that same buyer. So we said, let's hold them at bay. Let's jack that price up. It was negatively influencing the BPO. The BPO agent, which I still can't agree with and I don't understand, would take a look at that list price, and isn't it funny how their number came back so close to that list price so many times? So I said, all right, started talking to some different guys, and now we put it on ice. We're going to mark it pending, and we're going to drop it low to my offer number, or darn close to it, which is normally 65%. Our formula is this. We take the lowest comps we could find. We average to 3. We start off at 65%. That's the number we present to the bank, and it works, by the way. That's a great number, 65%. Too low, they throw it out. You know, a little too higher, you're going to cut into your profit. 65 is great in my experience. But the point is this. When I lowered that list price and had it pending lower, iced it, if you will, isn't it amazing how those BPO numbers started coming back in closer at that number? Like, I even said to them a few times, I'm like, listen, man, you just looking at the list price? A few of them actually were honest enough to say to me, hey, you know what? We feel that the listing agent knows the value of the house. So, yeah, we're looking at the list price. Now, I didn't know that for the first few months, and I kind of screwed up a few deals, I'm sure. But, you know, you live and learn these things along the way. And that's probably one of maybe literally 20, 30 things that are so huge for a deal like this, which is why I'm putting this book together. So to wrap this up, guys, if you go to shortsalestallion.com, let's keep in touch. Even this book, I'm not going to sell it. I intentionally just want to get it out there just to build my credibility in the community of what we're all doing together, you know? So thank you for your time. God bless you, and good luck.